for patterns, tricks, stitches and tips, wands and needles, embroidery.
In this video, we're going to take a look at what I've always seen referred to as loop stitch. I'm just going to throw out there that this is not a term that I have seen in any official sources for this technique. However, it's very similar to satin stitch in that the stitches are laid down side by side parallel to one another. So just like satin stitch, I'm going to bring my needle up through the back of my fabric along one edge of my shape. And I prefer to start in the middle of my shape and work to one side, and then start back at the middle and work to the other side. So like satin stitch, you're going to bring your needle back down through on the opposite end of that shape. But here's where this stitch is going to differ. Rather than pull your thread all the way through, you're going to leave a small loop on the top of your fabric. And if I turn my hoop sideways here, you can see that there's a little bit of space there between my thread and my fabric. Straighten that back out. And then I'm going to continue laying down stitches side by side parallel to one another in that same pattern. So one thing you'll need to be careful of with this stitch is making sure that you're not pulling that thread too tight. Just go nice and slow. And if you do accidentally pull that thread too tight, pull it all the way down, what I like to do is just take my needle and just run it along the surface of my fabric underneath that stitch. And then you can use your needle to kind of lift that stitch back up. Just keep working out towards the right edge here. And I find even if I haven't pulled my stitches too tight, I like to occasionally run my needle under there just to kind of smooth things out and keep things looking nice. Now, another thing that I often do with this stitch is I will gradually flatten my stitches as I work towards the edge of my shape. So my stitches will end up being a little bit more raised towards the middle of the stitching area. And as you reach the edge, they'll sort of flatten out. That's just a personal thing that I tend to do. Not something you have to do. Once we reach the edge here, I'll turn my hoop sideways again so you can kind of see that gradual flattening of those stitches. Okay, so go ahead and turn that to the side. And you can see how it's more raised in the middle, but by the time I reach the side, it's pretty flat against my fabric. Hopefully you can see that. So this is just going to give a little bit more of a three-dimensional look to your stitching. I would then go to the next side here and work out towards this opposite edge in the same manner. Just, again, keep working till I reached that left side to finish things up. So that is how you're going to do loop stitch.